What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the bag zone. Going with the reverse windmill this week, Braden. How are you
Oh,
doing, my friend?
so I'm better now. I couldn't tell you. We've only recorded 2 episodes of these. I don't know if you felt the same way. I have been itching to record this next one since recording the last two. Um,
Yeah, I'm getting a little distracted at work, just thinking
very,
about podcast
very
topics too much.
distracted at work.
Really gotta turn the phone down. I know a lot of friends silence their notifications during the workday. I need to not have a pen and a notebook next to me to just write down silly, fun ideas for the podcast.
Yes, yes, yeah. It can be distracting, really distracting. But work comes first. This is play. But I'm glad we can provide you guys with as much fun as. And tell you what, speaking of you guys, I don't know about you, but the amount of positive reception that I've gotten from people has been like overwhelming.
Oh, it's
Um,
been unbelievable, more than we ever could have hoped for.
yeah,
For everyone who's reached out so far, through a message or personally, we appreciate it. It's
yeah,
been fantastic to hear.
it's been great to
It's
hear
why
from
we
you
do
guys.
it.
Why we do it, keeping us going.
Especially people saying they want more gut stories and to learn about the sport more. We're so happy to be that conduit of getting more people involved in the game or
Conduit, that's a huge word.
explaining.
That's
Dude,
a big word.
vocabulary is off the charts today.
That's a big word.
That's gonna be the only big word I use, but
Good, it better be, because
I'm gonna ride it all
I'm
episode.
still tired from this morning. Um, which speaking of this morning, Luke Lawton and I, in case you didn't see, we're on TV6 briefly, talking about this tournament that's coming up, which is what this whole episode's about.
Yeah,
But before we do
largest wooden dome in the world
yes,
for
in
this
the world.
tournament.
And to my right, your right, right? My right is also their right, right?
Sure, yes,
Right?
the right side of the screen.
The right side of the screen is the second largest wooden dome in the world, and that is
Took me a long time to get that title.
that is Noah Gannon.
And I recently found out that Braden Galisic is not a wooden dome,
I
and it might be a deal breaker for the podcast,
I,
honestly.
I think he found out about 10 minutes before we started recording that I am indeed not a wooden dome. I think I just
Crazy.
about broke his heart.
Think you know a guy.
Yeah, I think you know a guy.
I
Speaking
mean, I've also been working under the impression that we've been playing as 5 wooden domes at every Guts tournament.
we haven't been pack members, we've been individually wooden domes.
Creating a pack of wooden domes.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? I think
Dude, that'd be crazy.
a pack of wolves is terrifying, but could you imagine just seeing wooden dome structures chasing after you?
That'd be a nightmare. Just an absolute
That
nightmare.
is a nightmare. That's something. That's some like back rooms. You turn around and there's just 5 wooden structures chasing after.
Yeah, the only problem is that while 5 large wooden structures might scare off some worms, UP hardwood, man,
oh,
they're just built to beat us.
They are the domes. It actually is them.
Well, that's a good thing that you're not a wooden dome, because we
No.
need one metal dome
Yes,
to handle
some other material
their hardwood.
that can go against the hardwood.
Okay, well, we have already gotten way off topic, and we haven't even gotten to our off
To
topic
our off-topic segment, we're 3.5 minutes in.
So I'm just gonna cue it up. Braden, I'm not gonna call it a hot take. You just got something you got to get off your chest. So just lay it on us.
I do enjoy myself from time to time some LaCroix. I'm not a big pop guy, but like flat water sometimes just doesn't do it. So yeah, assault me in the comments. I don't care. I understand LaCroix's got some backlash of just being a drink that people don't enjoy. I enjoy LaCroix, okay? But LaCroix, don't sue me for this. Do not come after me. Peach pear is just simply not the flavor. So how I go about buying my LaCroix is I'll find a flavor, and maybe next time I have to buy a pack, I'm getting a new flavor because I'm experimenting and I like the tastes of new flavors, and I've liked every single one of them until I came to peach pear. For those of you out there, see, it's not even open. It's just been sat in my fridge for weeks because I have, 1, refused to drink it, and 2, I'm too lazy to throw them away.
Did you ever finish your first peach pear LaCroix, or was
No.
it like a one sip and you were like, "This ain't it, Chief"?
That was it. No, it was straight away on site. This peach pear, not for me. It wasn't for me. It's not for me. Don't, LaCroix, what are you doing with that flavor? Every other flavor you've made so far, unbelievable. Peach pear, it's just not it.
Do is it lacking the peach or the pear?
No, it's. I
Like,
think it's.
where is it at in the mixture?
I don't think it's lacking. I think it's. I think it's too much pear. I think is like I think the pear. There's not enough balance. You know, it's like there's not enough MJ and Shaq. It was more like there's too much MJ and not enough the rest of the Chicago Bulls. Um, and MJ in this,
Someone's gonna call you out for just
someone
saying
will.
MJ and Shaq instead of Kobe and Shaq, but
Oh,
that's
did I
okay.
really? I meant to say Kobe. I
Yeah.
already had MJ on the mind, so I automatically just went there. That's staying in. We're not editing that. But it's like
So
there's too
okay,
much pear, not enough for the
so
rest of the
Scotty,
team.
so this is MJ and Scottie Pippen because there's all pear and no peach.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And
Okay, I get you.
it's just too much for me, and I can't. There needs to be more peach or less pear, one of the two. But it's just not it.
Yeah.
LaCroix,
No,
figure
it's
it
been
out.
crazy. So like both Braden and I have very different like taste palettes, at least traditionally. So if anyone remembers like the summer where White Claws really like popped off and like that was the biggest thing in the world for like 4 months before we got all like the Trulies and the other kinds of seltzers. But like the original variety pack, which was lemon lime, black cherry, raspberry, and ruby grapefruit, was
Wow.
perfect for Braden and I to split.
Yes.
Because I love like grapefruit is my favorite flavor for any like flavored juice or anything or like a soda or like a mixed drink. And then Braden, I think you were on the black cherry train
Yeah,
if I'm
dude.
not misremembering.
That
Like
was
a lot of people, I know that's like traditionally the biggest flavor. And then I liked the raspberry, you liked the lemon lime. So it was a perfect like
it just
a
worked.
perfect split down the middle of like here's my 6, here's your 6.
It just
And then it was
worked.
just the mystery of like was it packed right in the variety packer that time of like able to split it up well. Um, but that was like those like summer days where we were just chilling at McCarty's Cove, like going down to the beach and just living life when we had no responsibilities.
Yeah, dude. Those were the days.
But it was like we're finally getting nice weather again though. Like I was able to throw this weekend,
Oh,
which
yes.
uh we can change it. I've dumped in 2025. That my
Well,
my third shot grip locked and hit the fence
oh no.
like 18 feet away, and I was like, "That's not good. That's
He's
a bad
back.
shot."
He's so back.
Yeah, I mean, bright side, I didn't get caught once. Like
That is
I
a
have still
plus.
not been caught.
That is a
Like
plus. That
that
what
fence tried real hard, but like couldn't catch anything I was
couldn't
throwing
catch
at
it.
it. It was crazy. But yeah, how was practice this week? You
Practice is
guys have any
great.
standouts?
Uh, we had. I think Hogan was there. I haven't seen Hogan in a while. I don't know if that's because. I apologize, Hogan. I just don't know what your housing and living situation is currently. But I feel like I haven't seen Hogan in a minute. And he showed up and was playing, so that was cool. We had a pretty typical crew. We had the classic 2 games of fours and 1 5. Like we had a 5 there.
But did you have one person throwing by themselves at a fence?
No, that was what we were lacking.
So you were missing the real hallmark of a good
We were,
practice.
yeah. We did not have. Well, one, the Berga gym does not have a chain link fence, unfortunately, for us to throw at. Otherwise, I wouldn't stand on a line. I would just find
It
that
probably
fence.
used to.
Yes, and then people threw at it too much, and they went, we gotta take that down." No, there's no chain link fence at the Berga gym, unfortunately. But yeah, great turnout. There's a lot of excitement for the Dome tournament that's coming up, uh, which we're about to get into.
Yeah, let's just dive right into it.
Let's just
You're
dive.
wearing the shirt.
I am wearing the
You already
shirt.
talked about it
I've already
this
talked about it a few
morning.
times.
Like you're
Yeah.
prepped. Like you're
Yep.
ready to go.
Ready to go. But before we do that, I just want to plug the links, some links quick. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel or if you're new to the sport, please go check out our about page on the page of the YouTube channel itself. There you'll find a whole lot of useful links, like links to the Guts players website, any sort of USA Guts Facebook, Instagram, their YouTube, and also the registration link to the Dome tournament. We are recording this Monday the 10th, but you guys will be hearing it Thursday the what is
13th.
the 13th? Thank you,
13th.
Noah. That was big. You guys will be hearing it Thursday the 13th, which will give you one more day to register because registration closes at noon on Friday because the tournament directors need to figure out the teams beforehand. So you still
Yeah,
have
you
some
got a big
time.
job Friday.
You still have some time. If you haven't already, please register. And without further ado, let me get right into. Oh, we're jumping ahead. Hello,
Oh no!
we're jumping
Oh
ahead,
no!
but we're back.
Ignore that. No one saw
Ignore
that.
that. No one saw
We were
that.
here the whole time.
You. This is what it looked like the whole time. So what you have on the screen here is the flyer for the Dome tournament, and what I'm just gonna run through it quickly. Obviously, if you're not a rookie, I'm looking at you, Noah. This is directed towards you.
Hey,
If you're not a
what if I
rookie,
play left-handed? Do I count as a rookie then?
no,
It would be pretty bad.
that would be really bad. I'm still taking your defense though as not being a rookie,
Okay, that's fair.
unless you
I
also
will.
unless you didn't use your hands and you could only like chest pop and like leg pop.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. I would never do that.
So then, in that sense,
That's
yeah, if you want to be free,
okay.
sure, I'd
Yeah,
allow
that's
that.
fair. Okay, I'm not a rookie, but if
You
you are a rookie,
you play
it's
for
free for
free,
you.
yes. And I genuinely no prior skill needed. Like it says that, but I'm telling you, there were people last year who it was their first time holding a guts disc, and they had a blast. So if you're interested in frisbee sports, if you're interested in the game of guts, if you just want to have a good time from 3 to 11 p.m. in the Superior Dome, like this is it. Like it's free for you. So I genuinely don't see any reason why you shouldn't register because it's a blast. And I can attest to it because it's a whole lot of fun.
Unless you want to hurt our feelings, because if you don't show up and you're not doing anything on
Yep.
Saturday, feelings will be hurt.
We will find you.
Cans will not be collected.
Cans will
That's the
not be
other
collected.
thing. You can see it on the flyer, but the tournament's partnering with the TV6 Canathon. Does a bunch of great work every year in the community. If you are going to come and spectate, as the flyer says, there's 3 non-perishable food items that are recommended for donation. If you're able to help out, any help is always great. Um, just wanted to give that a quick shout out as well.
Yes, thank you. Giving back to the community is always special, and being able to do this for the second year. Last year was not a Canathon, but it is this year. So being able to do this and give back to the community is very, very special.
Yeah, I do have one gripe with the flyer.
Go on.
It doesn't say second annual.
It doesn't. No, and you're right. It definitely should have. Well, because this isn't the second annual, because it wasn't a Canathon last year.
We'll put an asterisk, and then at the bottom we'll add way more text that says that it's
Yeah,
technically not the
that
second
goes
annual, but it
into all
is.
the details. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll keep that
it's
in
like
mind for
yeah,
next
it's like
year's.
those like disclaimers at the bottom, and it's like this tournament is not actually the second annual. Like,
And it's read at like a million miles an hour. So you're like, what are
yep,
they even
yep.
saying? Yes. Well, I'll
And they're
put
like, this just seemed unnecessary the whole time. And then you're like, yeah, it was,
it
but no one
was.
wanted it to say second annual on it, so we had to do this whole thing.
I'll keep that in mind for the third annual next year. We'll get
Well,
that.
it'll be the second annual by your math.
But then we'll have 2 asterisks that says, well,
Well,
it would have been the third annual, but based on this
the question is,
conversation I
do you say
had,
it's the third second annual, or is it the second third annual? Because I think it'd be the third
the
second
third
annual
second
tournament.
annual Bill Beckman Campus Canathon Guts Frisbee Tournament.
Yeah, and then we can just keep adding
Yeah.
longer and longer titles to it
Yeah.
every year.
So it'd be like the fourth second. We can add it can be the fourth third somehow, like one
Yeah,
random
it just
year.
can't be the fifth third, because then the bank's gonna get mad at us.
The banks
So
will get mad. The
yeah, so we
bank,
gotta we gotta avoid that one. But otherwise, I think we're in the clear.
or they just become our primary sponsor for the tournament. And
That too, that'd be great. I don't even think they have a branch in the Marquette, but
no,
that's okay.
that's all right. We can dream. Anyways, so in terms of getting there, here's an overhead image of the dome. Kernel directions apply. Obviously, north is north in this photo. You all know, for most of you will know, but not all of you will know. The dome has a main entrance, which is circled. Basically, what you do is you're gonna walk through that main entrance at 3, and there will literally be a table waiting for you with a banner that is Guts Frisbee related, and there will be people there with bags and boxes and waivers for you to sign. So when you get here, please go into that main entrance. But if you have to use the parking on the north side, on the other side, I mean, those doors should be open over there. But if you want to walk in, like, please just make sure you go to the main entrance, find the table. That's where your registration, you can pay your tournament fees. You're going to sign your waivers. You're going to pick up your shirt and your frisbee. So first things first, please go find the registration table. That'll be a big help for all of us.
And watch out for the old ladies that like to walk
They'd
around the
love to
dome on
do it.
weekends.
Love to do it.
Those
Uh,
will be some extra spectators that we weren't expecting. But
yes, but welcome nonetheless.
yeah, but don't get in their way. They will
No,
run you
they
over.
will
That
run
is
you
their
over.
space.
Yep. Yes, yes, indeed, they will. And new this year, for those of you that were here last year, and Noah wasn't, so Noah has no idea this change. But for those of you that were here last year, you will remember that there was a beer garden. You will also remember that it was on um, behind one of the end zones, and viewing was difficult because you were tucked behind a net. That has changed.
They they really made it seem like the beer garden patrons were like ostracized
It
for
was,
wanting to like participate
yeah,
and also spectate guts.
you were a ways over there, but not this year. We worked with NMUPD, who you can see Mr. Mike Bath hanging out in the corner of that picture. Shout
Shut
out,
up,
Mike.
Mike.
Shout out, Mike. So basically, how this is going to work is for any of you that have been to an NMU football game, or for those of you that haven't, whatever, it's pretty simple. The red area is where you are allowed to have beer. That's your new beer garden. There will be ropes going up the sides that it will be marked. You will you won't be able to miss that this is the beer garden. And basically, what will happen, that blue square area is where the beer is going to be served. Obviously, the bartender will be there. You can buy your drinks, but then as soon as you buy your drink, you got to go up those steps, and then you take a seat and you enjoy your bevy. And then when you're done with your bevy, you throw it away and you go get another one. Uh, but basically, we just want to stress: please don't leave the beer garden. The turf is new. We'd like to have as few spills as possible.
Yeah,
Because
also this is one of those things of like we're renting this space. We don't want to lose it.
yep,
Like
yep,
while it's a lot of fun to be able to bring a beer anywhere you want to at a frisbee tournament, like this is something. Let's respect the rules. Let's keep the turf clean so that they keep inviting us back, and we can keep this tournament going year in and year out. And also, like we're just gonna yell chug at you if you try and take an unfinished beer out of the beer garden. Like
yes, and
just be
also
ready for it.
speaking of that, one thing that we would run into last year that you weren't around for, so you wouldn't be able to know. But we would always run into the issue of your teammate after a game would go and get a drink, and they would be all the way on the other end of the field. So you would have to run to get your teammate, find them in the beer garden, bring them all the way back across the field for your game that's starting in 30 seconds. But
Oh
now,
yeah, that seems like a nightmare. If you're
eh,
on the far field and you're like, I just ran 60 yards both ways, and they're like, "Hey, Braden, you got first shot." Like, I hope you're not winded.
yeah, right, no kidding. Because you would be half the time because you're yelling at your buddy to get on the line. Um,
Yeah,
but
which I
it's
mean is
moved.
no different from a normal tournament. It's just a little
Yes,
further
it's just a
away,
little further away, but now it's centralized. You're literally on the 50-yard line. So
which is good.
you'll have a great view of all three sectors. Which
Yeah, we don't have to play Where's Tanner
no,
once
we don't.
again.
No, we can just look up in the stands and go, "Oh, there's Tanner." Which, speaking of, this takes us nicely into, for those of you that weren't here, we're just pulling up a quick YouTube video, and we want to show you just a little bit of what this looks like. So
And I know
this
what you might be thinking. We've seen YouTube videos on this channel before. We have control now.
we
Braden can
have,
pause this.
I can.
He can rewind it because I totally ruined his flow.
That's okay.
Like,
That's okay. But so the tunnel that we just walked out, that is the tunnel that you saw in the picture of the beer garden. So you literally, where last year's registration table and area was for people who are coming back, that is where the beer garden is. Um, which I think it's a great spot. I'm glad we made the change. Oh yeah, look, Noah, you see way back there. Oh look, he's even zooming
yeah,
in. That's insane.
yeah, there it is.
Yep. So that's the
It's so far away.
yes, yeah, it was very far away. But basically, what happens here is there were four. Yes, there were four games. The field was essentially cut into thirds. Um, so basically, straight across, there were four games happening at once in each sector. So we had 12 fields of play. Yeah, here we
Which
go.
is
Okay,
awesome
which is great.
to see
Yes,
12 fields.
yes. And there were these great nets that we had in between, so the risk of getting hit with frisbees was minimal. If you got burned or if there was a pop or something, um, it essentially got hit it went into the net, and you weren't getting hit with stray frisbees, um, which is really really cool. Very,
Dude,
very
I
cool.
gotta say, like, missing out on it last year, because this was a day tournament last year, right? Like,
It was. Yes.
started in the morning.
Yep.
Like, when they had that overhead shot of the dome, the idea of this, like, being at night, like, under the lights playing Frisbee is something that we don't typically get to do in the Guts community. Like, I feel like it's even though it's not necessarily like the most serious tournament in terms of like history with it or like, it's not your usual team, but that idea of like you're a little kid playing something under the lights that
Yeah.
like is really meaningful. Like I feel like it's just going to add such an atmosphere to it.
Yep. Yeah, it was a blast. And also, I completely forgot about this until just now, for whatever reason. For those of you that were here last year, you'll remember we ran into an issue with there were intramural sports that were trying to like take over the field as we were ending, and that was just kind of because we didn't. The turnaround from when we were told yes we could have the dome to find like an actual space to work with was slim. Um, but now that we have the space from 3 to 11, like we won't have to worry about people kicking us off, which will be great.
Are you saying that intramural lacrosse doesn't have an 11:15
No,
Saturday night practice?
no, and I checked with the ultimate team. I made sure that they didn't have any of their late nights because as someone who's on the club ultimate frisbee team, boy, were there some late night
Won't they
practices.
just be playing in the
They'll
tournament?
just be in the
Like
tournament. Yep, that's exactly
exactly.
it. That's exactly it. Speaking of the tournament, the the Jesus, the tournament is run a little a little differently in terms of um, after round robin. So what it looked like last year, and what I'm fairly certain we're going to do again this year. So if that changes, I apologize. But what happened last year was you played your few round robin games, and then you got seeded. But then what we did is we created a lower bracket and an upper bracket, um, and think of like Noah and I can relate to this because we've played in youth hockey tournaments before where
Oh yeah.
you've just had your upper and lower brackets. Now there's
You go to
no
that Minnesota tournament that you shouldn't be at, and it's
yeah,
like
straight to the lower
we're gonna ne-
bracket.
we're gonna need a lower bracket.
Straight to the lower bracket. Um, so basically, uh, you get split up, and this worked out well because it creates essentially two finals. So in the lower bracket final, uh, the Irish Ticklers. Hello, great name. First and foremost,
I was okay. I gotta
great
pause
name.
there real quick. Do teams like? Do you ask every team once you find like figure out who's on your team and like we get our teams to us? Do we like have 10 minutes during warmups to come up with our team names?
That's a
Like,
great question. So as of now, we plan on releasing the teams on Friday. So I guess to preface this, we will have. This is happening on Monday. We are having another meeting Wednesday to kind of because we already have we have a rough draft of we've got
mhm.
people in places essentially so it all doesn't happen at the same time. But we're meeting again Wednesday, and we're gonna make that rough draft slightly less rough, and then we'll be meeting Friday afternoon after registration closes, and then we'll be finalizing, and then we will put out to the public Friday night what your teams are. From there, if you know who you're with, reach out to them. You can try and coordinate stuff if you want. If not, I mean, you literally just show up, and there was a lot of teams that just made up team names on the fly there, um, and that works totally fine too. Uh, so yes, probably Friday night if I had to guess, um, which I guess isn't really a whole lot of turnaround time for communicating, but I think that's just how it's gonna have to be, just because registration closes
But
24
you
hours
do get to pick
before.
your own team names, which is
Yes,
the
yep,
important thing.
yes. You pick your own team names, which yes,
And
great.
then just wait till 8 teams pick team number 3 as their team name,
Yeah, dude.
just to
Have
make everyone's job super hard.
have fun with that. So the Irish Ticklers beat the. I'm sorry, Hayes. I apologize. I can't read that. The glare, dude. This is a Facebook post. But Carson Hayes, Ethan Hayes, Ansel Frost, Lucas Jensen, and Travis. That is a team. I
That's a
would.
really fun squad.
I would love to be on that team.
Oh,
They're
you can
gonna.
see it, I think you can see it,
Oh
on
yes,
the line before Timber Kimber.
Timber Kimber. Great eyes, Noah. That's why I have you around
Hey,
sometimes.
that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Timber Kimber. First off, Great name. Second off, the team is. I would love to play on that team. We're gonna talk about drafting our team later in the segment. I think
Yeah, but
I might just take this team.
the problem is that you just can't beat Irish ticklers, dude.
No, you can't.
St. Patty's Day weekend, they're just
No.
untouchable.
Yeah, correct. Which also looking at this team, Rachel, who MVP, shout out Rachel, lower bracket MVP. Emma, who's a rookie, was an ultimate player. She played on the NMU Club Ultimate team, and Rachel got to join, I believe. I mean, that's the only connection that I see on here. Nick Jackson, we all know Nick Jackson. Alex Palmer, we all know Alex Palmer. Carver, who is a rookie, also an ultimate player. So there's the connection there. And then JV. I mean, that's a great
The
team.
absolute legend, Justin Berrigan.
Justin Verrigan. What a great team that is too.
Yeah, I also can you go back to the first round of the lower bracket? Like, can you zoom out and
Yep.
slide over to the left a little bit? Like, the
Well,
beauty of this bracket format, like if you look, you see like 21-18, 21-19, like 21-17.
yeah.
Like the idea too in like this first round of that losers like the lower bracket is to give like more teams those extra competitive games.
Yep. Yes.
And it's like so even if, you're having a rough stretch, you're able to play that like super close game that you have a chance at winning, which is like no matter what it's for, that's why we all play.
Yep.
It's like those really fun 17-16 switches where like it goes down to the wire.
Yes. Yeah, and
But
that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a competitive environment while also giving you as many like competitive games as possible. Um, so that way.
yeah, let's check out that upper bracket from
Yeah.
last
So
year.
the upper bracket finals, the finals. Who do we have? We had the Brian Beckman Ballistic Battle Boys. Now that's a name.
That's a lot of bees.
That's a few bees. So that team included Brian Beckman, who that's pretty special.
That's super super special.
In the first
I
year of the
also
tournament,
know,
yeah, that's pretty special.
like my dad was talking about it, not to jump down too far, but um, like this was one of the first tournament wins for like Jimmy Rector, who my
Yeah,
dad's been playing with him and Brian forever. So like to also have like one of his best friends on a team, like winning his family's tournament, like
yeah,
super cool that got to happen in year one.
yeah, that's pretty special. That's pretty dang special. Luke Lawton and MVP, who we're gonna play a little bit of those finals clips here in a second. Luke Lawton and MVP, Carter Nettle, everyone knows Carter. Uh, love you, Carter. Hope you're listening. Uh, and who did they beat? They beat Team 13 because Dan Gannon and the boys.
Way to go, Dad! Way to
could
just call
not
it
think
Team
of a name.
13.
I love
You're
that.
real creative,
Honestly, though,
pops.
or just like pick a number that's not your team.
I was gonna say it's way funnier if your team was assigned a different number.
Yes, yes, I would have loved that. So let's watch a little bit of the finals, shall we?
Let's kick it off.
We're pulling up another YouTube video. We start off with Thummer from Carter.
That's gross.
Yeah, Trent.
Super, super good pop by Trent.
Yeah, dude, and Brendan Caskey, which I can talk about this a little bit, but I was there. But I know Dan was yapping to you. Brendan Caskey played out of his
I have
mind.
heard probably 5 times from my father how good Caskey. Like Caskey's played with us before. He's a really good player. My dad was like, "Dude, ascended at this tournament. Like,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to everything. His 2-finger was just nasty."
yeah. He played really really well. Luke Lawton and
That's
MVP.
tough though.
Yeah, that's a tough drop. Oh, and then the dump.
And into the dump. That's a rough one too.
But yeah, there's Caskey tracking the disc, dude. Great pop in the end. I think Roger Oman got a hand on that.
Yeah, my dad has always said, and you got to agree. Like the more you play with older guts players, like hands go last.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't have like you lose a little bit of reaction time, but like all these older guys we play with, like they got hands.
Oh,
Except my dad. Apparently.
Speaking of, there's
Who's just
Danny.
getting
Danny into the
beat
game.
outside. Also, I gotta say, like I'm a Michigan alumni, and my father's in a Michigan State shirt. Like
Let's back that
I
up
might
a
have
little
to
bit.
disown him as a parent in this moment. Like, what are we doing here, pops?
Danny.
If it was like a northern shirt because it's a northern tournament, like that's okay. But like he didn't even go there, man.
No.
Like just picking a rival school.
Well, and then he just gets soaked by Carter, so it all works. It all works.
Also, Brian was there, like 100%.
Yes,
Brian
indeed,
had
he was.
that all the way. But when you're doing that, like
yeah, that's just pretty
can't
tough.
get bad.
Yep. Also, the tall lanky kid on the end. Good up, Lottie. there in the blue shirt and the khakis. That is his name is Landon. That is Luke Lotnan's sister's boyfriend, and I believe Luke and Landon signed up together again. So we'll see him back, which is
Dude,
exciting.
that's a little scary, like, proposition going into the tournament of, like, reigning MVP and his partner from the last tournament.
Running it back. Speaking of, here's Landon. He gives me really big. Do you remember AP from practices? Yeah,
Yeah.
he gives me big AP vibes.
Do you know if AP is gonna be there next weekend?
Yep, I think he is. I talked to him not this last practice, but the practice before. I believe so.
If you're a Frisbee player and haven't played against AP before, just throw at him and see what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
dude just doesn't.
just for fun. Like,
Yeah,
just
just throw
throw.
at him.
See what happens.
Another cool thing, so what's happened is I think we did it throughout the tournament because that's just kind of the spirit of this game. If you are a rookie and you dump, regardless of where you are in the tournament, you just get to throw again.
I was gonna say, so that's I signed up with a rookie.
Yeah.
My buddy Dan, shout out Dan Hill, soon to be Guts Frisbee legend.
Yeah, dude.
But this is Dan's last tournament as a rookie because it's still in his first calendar year
Oh,
of
yes.
tournaments.
Yeah.
He will lose his rookie status at Wisco. Um, but that's huge to know, especially if like he's trying to learn new shots still and figure out like what shot's best for him. So
Yeah.
that's like super one of the best parts about tournaments like this of we can kind of give those rookies a chance to experiment a little bit more of what they want to throw and not have that added pressure of like needing to get it in every time.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is what the finals looked like. Obviously, as you can tell, if you're a spectator, like you can bring lawn chairs on the turf, and you can sit in the turf, and you can be as close as far away as you can, but you just can't, you can't bring your drinks and your food on there. But you are encouraged to sit on the turf. Yeah, and it's just a blast. And I kind of remember at this point we're starting to get like not hurried up, but maybe the other people are starting to trickle in, and um, yeah, like you can see the nets are already set up back there, so we won't run into that this year, which is gonna be great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, which is gonna be really really good. And I also
I was
don't.
gonna say, is
What a
it possible? What a shot,
yeah.
Kasky.
Oh my
Holy
god,
cow.
Jesus. Speaking of Kasky playing good, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy. And
Yeah,
whoever
and then
was
he soaks
filming,
it. Look at that.
which,
Did you see
yeah,
that?
I'm sorry for whomever was filming that I don't know. But great camera work. Like,
I think it
unreal.
is Will.
Oh, Will, I mean, not surprising. Will's a professional in all facets of Frisbee.
Lottie,
But,
good pop and catch.
I mean, MVP right there.
That's MVP activity right there is what that is.
Yeah, also hearing a new turf for this year, like, having played
Yes.
Pop Warner football at the Dome in, like, 6th grade, the amount that we used to get, like, turf burn from that, like, you had to wear, like, long sleeve shirt even though it was, like, under your pads, even though it was always warm, and, like, high socks because they were, like, the second you tackle somebody or get tackled or go to the ground, like, you will be bleeding
Yeah.
from, like, the old turf.
Yes. So, yeah, for those of you that don't know or weren't there, the turf last year it's been replaced. It got brand new. It's really squishy. Um, it's gonna be really really nice to play on, and I'm super excited because it won't be hard. It's not as slippery. Um, which
Yeah, do you wanna, briefly just touch on, like, the shoe policy? Because
s-
I'm, like, thinking I don't even know what shoes to wear because I know, like, cleats typically aren't allowed on these turfs.
that I'm gonna have to get back to you. We're gonna have to make a post on that because that. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to even think about that.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, I know the old dome turf,
yes.
you could
So
only wear turf shoes or tennis shoes,
yep,
but I know a lot of modern turfs, like, you can like soccer cleats, anything
yep.
that's not like metals allowed, but
Uh, great
who
question.
knows?
I will double check. That will be answered, and you will have your answer in the post on Friday when we announce teams. Um, as of right now, I would say if you can, just bring both. Like bring a pair of tennies that aren't muddy and have been outside, but also bring your cleats. Um, great question. Thank you, because I will ask that, and you will have your answer. It's just not right
Good.
now.
That's good. I was gonna say I'm gonna be packing after this
Uh,
episode comes out and be like, I don't know what to
I don't know what
bring.
to bring. Do I bring the slides? Do I bring the
Do I do the
chacos?
Luke McCarthy and
Do I
just
bring
play my
the
Birkenstocks?
Birkenstocks? Yeah. No,
And by the way, Luke's still there, even in Berks, dude.
he is
Like,
always there. Dude
he
never
gets that
misses.
disc
Dude has never
100% of the
missed.
time. All right, you ready to draft some teams or what?
Yes. So fun thing we're gonna do to end this, and we kind of briefed it, or at least to transition, is we are going to snake draft how we would want to fill out our team at this tournament.
So we're picking 4 players, no restrictions. Braden and I have not talked about how we're drafting. I'm going solely on vibes. Braden, I think you're pretty similar of
Yes.
like who would just be really fun to play with, not like let's pick the best 4 players in guts right now. Like this is just purely like in a dome tournament, who would we want
Yes.
on the squad?
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly how I'm
And
doing
I
it.
have arbitrarily, because we didn't do a coin flip, giving you the first pick in the draft.
You're gonna give
Because I
me the
have 2
layup.
names and I don't know who I want, so hopefully both fall to me 2 and 3, and then I don't have to make the decision.
Um. Okay. So that means, I can't pick my partner who I'm actually playing with. Which is
Yeah,
Luke.
we should also specify, we do have a rule of no pack members,
Yes. No
like,
current
out
pack
of the core
members.
wolf pack.
Yep. Which also doesn't matter because I signed up with Luke McCarthy. We're gonna be on the same team again, so it doesn't regardless. I think just because I've got a few reasons. This is the first name that came to mind. The vibes are there. I've never played with him before, and he's also a good player. Well, my first pick, I gotta take Tyler Turcotte.
I swear to God, you took my 1-1. That was absolutely my first
Yes,
pick,
thank you so much for letting me
without
go
a
first.
doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
nope,
has to be
that
Tyler
was
Turcotte.
that was first name on my mind.
Has to be Tyler Turcotte.
He seems like so much fun to play with.
Yes, and I've never played with him before, so
I don't I'd have to think back. I don't think I have either, especially not in, like, a big tournament. Maybe
no.
like a, like, hat tourney at a practice or
Yeah,
something, but
right.
also he catches me so frequently that I would love to just have him on my side.
Yes, that would be a great thing to have.
Yeah. Okay, so to buy myself time, who I know we've talked about both wanting on our team for this tournament before, and someone who has given us a legendary Wisco story the one time he was a pack member, but Axel Seitz has to be my first pick. Like, you want to talk about
Oh.
guaranteed fun at a frisbee tournament?
Yes,
Like, being able to have to spend 8 hours with Axel is like a perfect time. Like, he's the best hype man. He loves guts. Like, he's gonna hype me up more than I ever could myself.
and on top of that, you get mixed sites the whole day as well, which
Which is
is
even better.
even
Like,
better.
it's 2 picks in 1,
It's a big package
which
deal
is the
for
best
sure.
possible thing.
Big package deal.
Um, oh, geez. Okay, I was really hoping that I'd have a couple picks to think about this after I took Tyler, but you already snagged him from me. Um, which is fine because I'm gonna go Capo with my second pick.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Give me that rocket backhand.
That's a great
Give me
pick.
those Calumet chirps just like we're on the ice.
That's
I need
right.
someone to counteract Turcotte, which I think you only picked because he gave you a concussion in high school hockey.
That's a story for another time. Well,
But we love the hockey players. Like Capo's not only really good, like he's a super fun time.
that's a
I
great
think he'd be
selection.
great in the middle.
Yes,
Like,
I have no complaints with that pick. Not one. Um,
all right, you're back for 2 more.
yeah, I am. Which I'm gonna be honest. After Tyler Turcotte, I had zero thought into this, so I'm kind of going off the cuff. I think I'm gonna take a layup because I don't think. No, he doesn't count because he's never played with us before. Um, but I think I haven't played with him, and I think it'd be fun. And also at this tournament specifically, give me just Brian Beckman.
Oh,
You know,
he's a blast to play with.
you
He's an
know,
absolute beauty to play with.
yeah, dude. And I love Tanner, so like, and I love Brian, but it's just I've never played with him, and I think at the Beckman tournament, I think that would be really special, but also just a vibe because it's Brian Beckman. Um, so that's my
Super fair.
two.
That's a
That's
great
that's
pick.
my two. Um, in the three, who do I want? Who would I like? This is a great question. Give me. You know what? You know who's a vibes guy? I don't know if this name is gonna mean anything to you. Um, which it might. It very well could. Give me Stiff Griff.
Oh,
Give me Stiff
I
Griff in the three.
stiff, dude. Stiff grips of time.
Give me Stiff Griff in the three.
You ever see Stiff Griff Friday before a frisbee tournament? You will be the most excited human being to show
Oh,
up Saturday morning.
yes. Yeah. So
Like,
I think
unreal
the
pick.
energy would stay there. because I can just rely on him to be that guy. Uh, so yeah, give me Griff and the 3. That's an easy pick.
That's a great pick. Back to me, rounding out my team. Right now, I think I want another like knows the dome really well, plays well there. I'm gonna take the lower bracket MVP and pick up Rachel.
Oh, that's a sneaky pick.
Played with
Yeah.
her one time at a tournament, super fun. Like, gonna be super solid, and also like ultimate bid's pretty important in a dome.
Yes.
Like, she's got experience with it. And then sticking on the ultimate theme, someone who I've wanted to play with more and more, and have sadly only done it once, is Tom.
Oh, what a great pick, dude. Yes.
Yeah, dude, Tom's filthy.
Yes. Oh, I
Like
love Tom.
another former ultimate player, but like Luke and I played with Tom downstate at USGO a couple years ago when you weren't able to make it, and it was so much fun. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
think he's
pissed.
one of those like super under the radar is going to pop off this year, guys. Of like, I'm ready for him to take a huge step forward. But yeah, dude, I want Tom's movement. That I
And
still don't understand how he snaps it backhand. Like,
I think I agree with
give
you.
me all that.
I think I
Give
agree
me
with
all
you.
that.
And he's just a vibe. He's just a great dude. Like, he's just a
Yeah,
fun.
I'm loving the vibes. I'm loving the team's composition.
Okay, so who do you did that rounded out your team, right? Or do you still
Yeah,
have?
so I ended with Axel, um, Capo, and then Rachel and Tom. Just a bunch of backhands, and Axel's just greasy two finger. They ain't gonna be ready for
Oh
us.
no, I love that. Okay, so me quickly, I took Turcot. I then took Brian Beckman. Um, I then took Stiff Griff. I'm gonna go off of your idea. I'm going to take the upper bracket MVP. Just give me Luke Lotnan.
Oh,
Uh,
just an absolute anchor on the line.
yeah, dude.
Like,
And I also is also someone that I've played around and have been at practices and have like known forever, but I don't know if I've played with him in like a setting
no, and
of
that's
real
the thing of
frisbee.
like, especially being from the same hometown. Like, we're just a generation of guts off. Where like, even when we were all first starting, we just didn't like have that random tournament where
Yeah,
we all played together. Like, so we've always played against each other at tournaments, and it's like, yeah, what would it be like to play together for once?
yeah,
Like,
and he's solid, dude. I don't think everyone knows who Luke Lotnan is, but I think you want to talk about still underrated. Like
yeah,
he's
somehow,
somehow still
even though he's
underrated.
got an MVP.
I know he's like I still don't think people talk about Luke Lotnan enough. He's like the Alexander Barkov of Guts Frisbee. You know, like everyone knows he's sick, but he's somehow still underrated. Um,
Yeah, that
yes,
classic just like does everything super super well.
yeah, and also has done a great job in like running things in the Marquette Guts area. Like we wouldn't have these indoor practices once a week, would it not for Luke and his dad. Like we wouldn't have. Uh,
Yeah, also shout out Cody.
Shout out Curdy,
Like
yeah,
the Latin in
the
tandem
whole
is just
lot of
doing so much
family.
up there.
Yeah, shout out. Uh,
All right, so Braden, as one of the people making the teams, why don't you make it happen? Let's put these squads
let's
together.
put these squads. Hey, I still have one more pick. I only have 4 now, or do I?
Well, I assume that you and I would be the fifth person, because this is just
Oh yeah, no,
a
you're right. Yep, yep.
five.
I did the math
Because
wrong.
this is
That is, you are
yeah,
correct.
and this, I guess that's one important thing to add too is that this is a five-person tournament. I don't think any teams have six people at this, if
So
I'm not mistaken.
so as of right now, which I can give you a little inside scoop on numbers currently. So last week when we did our first rough draft of all the people signed up, we had 20 teams. A few teams of 5, but mostly teams of 4. And
And we will have some late signups.
yeah,
Like,
like this is
I
gonna
know my dad, I texted him and he just wasn't signed up yet because he
yes,
didn't know where the link
yep,
was.
and
So
he
like
yeah
we'll get those stragglers coming in.
yes, and again, so you're hearing this Thursday. It's currently Monday when we're recording, so like we will have the numbers will be more Wednesday when we have another meeting. But as of like last week from Monday today, we already had 20 teams essentially. So
Which is
numbers looking
awesome.
really really good, really really good to do just about the same as what we did last year, which is super exciting, really exciting.
Yeah. So especially people like looking to play, this not only is going to be like a very good space to try frisbee or to like work on getting better for frisbee, you're gonna play a lot.
Yeah.
Like there is no subs, there's no bench to go to. Like
Yep.
you just get to have your 4 or 5 people and figure out like the best kind of combination, which can be like a whole another fun element in itself
Yes.
when getting a new team.
Yes. Yeah. So this is I'm really looking forward to it. Extremely looking forward to this dome tournament. Um,
And
yeah.
then after the dome tournament, little podcast insights. We're
Yes.
currently working on a official logo. Um, Braden did a great job so far with our current one.
Of just overlaying text over a guts frisbee.
Hey, that's beautiful, man.
It doesn't
But
look that bad, does it?
yeah, I've got a graphic design friend who is putting together something special for us. And then Braden's lifelong friend and my friend since high school, Michael Halverson, is working on a wonderful musical intro
Yeah, I was
that
able
we
to.
hopefully, if I don't want to promise too much, so it might not be episode 4 in the dome recap, but looking in the next month or two here, we're gonna have some more big improvements
Yeah,
in terms of content.
cool things coming. Cool things coming. Shout out Michael Halverson. I was able to wrangle him. He's a busy lad. Um, but
Dude,
no,
busy,
super excited.
busy lad.
Yeah, dude's always on that saxophone of his. Which, yeah, like get after it. That's for
And
sure.
then get on a guts line
And then get on a guts
because he's
line.
he's practiced a few times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's got some talent.
He has great hands. I just think he doesn't want to play because he could hurt his saxophone hands. Like
Which, like,
this is his career, is his saxophone.
yeah, that's fair than most, like more fair than most of us
Yes.
in terms of like
Completely agree.
injuries and guts.
Yes.
Um, One other thing I want to call out to people: you'll be seeing a community post in the near future. But we've got an exciting project for almost like a hype slash highlight video that we're going to be putting together. Don't want to give out too much information right now, but what we need help with is if y'all could tell us like your favorite shot you've ever seen someone throw. Like if you have a memory of like a really nasty like Carter Thumber or like a really sick Hogan backhand or like the Will Walden slider at its best and like really great catches or like diving catches, like really sick bags. And especially if you can remember like tournament it was from, like what round of the tournament, we're going to be trying to get footage from a couple of these, put them together and almost get like a Guts Frisbee hype video that not only for us to enjoy, but also as a good introduction to people outside of the community of like here's what our sport has to offer. Braden and I talked about it, and as much as I would like to think I have 20 hours a week to just watch old Guts videos, like we both have full-time jobs now and
Yes.
other
Yes,
life
we do.
responsibilities, and like I'm not going to skip beer league hockey for that. So
No.
we could use a little help too, just kind of picking people's favorite moments. So look for a community tab coming in the next week on that.
Do we want to round out the are we coming to the end? Are we
Yeah, someone whose name shockingly has not come up in the podcast so
which
far.
is crazy.
Um,
Actually shocking.
if you want to throw up the wonderful picture of our question of the day um, viewer, shout outs to Connor Steer,
Connor
my
Steer.
teammate in Australia, captain of USA Red, not rocking a USA Red jersey because this was the tournament before.
Yes.
But Braden, let's lay it on us with the question here.
So Connor asks, only being able to throw a shit hook. What teams place first, second, and third in a tournament? Which,
And this
first
is
off,
assuming
great
like
question.
normal teams that we have right now.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Um,
Yep. So that's think of like the full bop, the full hardwood, the full pack, the full yes. Yep. So I'm gonna go first just because I think I have a great answer for this, and it's solely based off of one person and what team he's playing on this year. And that is whatever team Trevor Bertonia's on, otherwise known as Bert. That's the
I
team.
mean,
That is the team that's winning.
he's just going to catch it, right? Like
Yes.
that's the thing. It doesn't matter how good the other team throws it. Like
No.
Bert's there.
But also, he will genuinely throw it sometimes in practice. Like he'll
He throws it fast.
yeah, but he'll go to throw something and then he'll change the grip and all of a sudden it's a shit hook. It gets to the line and it flips and it's got some speed. It might be the best form of this shot I've ever seen. Ever seen.
And I think that's the biggest thing is like you have to be able to get it in. Like Wolfpack, terrible. we would
Oh, we'd be
stink at
so
this
bad.
tournament. Like, I don't think anyone on our team can throw one.
No, I
Like,
don't
I
even know.
can't.
I don't know what the motion is. I couldn't tell you.
I
I'll have
bet
to talk
Luke
to
has a
Bert.
sneaky one just
Oh, he
'cause,
could. Yeah,
but, like, I mean, we'd lose games and probably, like, we'd dump 15 of the shots, and then we'd drop 6, and that'd be the loss.
yeah. I'm not putting us in the top 3. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, honestly, I think with that idea in mind of consistency, Hardwood's my pick, uh,
I think
to
it's a
win
great
this
pick.
tournament. Because I know, like, Connor, who asked us this question, like, he's dabbled with it. Lottie's got a pretty filthy one sometimes. But I think that, like, that's just the age group of, like, all of the older guys never threw these.
Yeah.
Because it's just something that we do to mess around, like, since I started playing Frisbee. So I feel like older teams would struggle with it just of, like, they haven't tried to throw it before. Because
No.
why would you ever
Because
try
why
and
would
throw
you
it?
ever? I mean, look at the name.
But
Read the name.
yeah, but I think Hardwood would just like they'd be the most consistent about getting it in, and then they'd
Yeah.
just like ride hands from there.
Yes. I think that's
Um,
solid reasoning.
and I think your second or third place team is also based off of one man just carrying his team with his incredible shit hook abilities.
We'll go on.
I said you, not me. I was just
Oh.
trying to tee you up.
Oh.
I gave you a pass back door. Goalie's gone.
No, you know
You
what that
catch the
is?
pass and just sit there.
That's the up in the backfield that I have dropped. But give me whatever team. Well, no, because I actually kind of like the full composition of this team. Give me Burn. Give me Team Burn. Give me Ethan and Carson Hayes. Give me Ansel Frost. Give me Griff. Give me that entire team. I think all of them would throw, if they tried, the best shit hooks I've ever seen.
I was gonna say they came to mind like immediately. Of
Yes.
I think they're in my top 3 as well.
Yeah.
Also, Burn has more fun than everyone else. I think their equilibrium lines up with this shot. Like
Correct.
somehow it like if anyone knows like what Balmer's peak is, I'm not gonna go too deep off the end, but basically like there's a point where you have enough beers that you're better at coding than sober. I think they play that for the shit hook tournament all the time at guts tourneys. They're just trying to throw normal shots.
And I think, yeah, I think taking Burn in the 2 or 3 spot is not crazy.
No, I think that's a good
I
idea.
think it's not
And
crazy.
then who do you have for your last team?
For my last team, I'm kind of teetering, and it's between um, it's between 2 very good teams. It's for me, it's between Bop, just because I feel like Steve-O could suddenly just throw a shit hook and it would be gross. And
And
then
let's also be honest. Like Will Blau is going to be really competent at
yes,
whatever he throws.
correct, yeah,
Like it's just going to be good.
like that whole team is just an Al, like Al with a shit hook. I think would be great. You know, actually, I changed my mind. Yeah, that is the answer. Just gonna go Bop, just because I think
If I ask if you are tottering instead of teetering, do you think it'll change your mind at all?
no. If you asked me if I was tuttering, though, that might that could have changed my mind.
Ah, the classic bungo maneuver.
Bungo.
Yeah,
Yeah, give me
I
Bop.
I'm
Give me
going to go
Bop.
back slightly on what I said. I think a sneaky team that would do really well is the like combined like worms, but when like Bobby and Ian are playing with them.
That's a phenomenal
Because I
selection.
bet Ian would have an unreal
That's a
shit hook.
phenomenal selection.
And I have a feeling between like Jake's just touched a disc his entire life, and like he eats dirt on the line sometimes because he like lives
I didn't even
worms.
think about that.
Yeah, between like him and Jared, like Jared throws some weird shots too. I bet they would have like a really, really good chance at going deep in a tournament with these restrictions.
Yes, I love that pick. I'm a big fan of that pick, actually.
All right, now all we got to do is just convince all of the teams that round robin at a tournament this year. This is the rule set.
This is it. This is the only thing you're allowed to throw.
This is how we play frisbee now. Like it's gonna be too much fun, and then we're never gonna do anything else.
No, no. Yes, I agree, 100%. Shit hooks only for round robin. Hell, the whole weekend.
Can we like move it up though? Can it be like 40 feet instead of 45? Because some of us can't
Yes.
get it there.
Yeah. That,
Me, I'm
that
some of us.
yeah. I might also fall into that category of some of us.
Most of us maybe might
Most of
be a
us.
better thing. Dude, and then if it's windy, forget about it.
Forget about it, dude. So could you imagine trying to throw that in Australia?
No, no, absolutely not. Although I imagine, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. The Australian Guts national team would win any tournament
No,
if
that
the
is the
shit
correct answer.
involved.
That is the correct
Yep,
answer. We can end the
yep.
pod.
Shout out to the boys. But
Obviously,
yeah,
obviously
you know
we're gonna have an
Tommy,
outro. But
like Tommy Fish, like
oh yeah,
they'd
dude,
have it
I
nailed.
didn't even think about that. That is the only correct answer. Forget what we said before.
Yeah,
That
the whole
whole
thing,
team,
scrap it.
the
That's it.
entire Australia national team is the answer. That
Yep,
is
that's
it.
it.
That's it. That is the answer. And Bert,
That's
if
what we're
Bert
leaving you with.
somehow found his way on that team, they'd be
Yeah, but
untouchable.
Bert's their sixth man. Like he's
Yes,
coming off the
that's
bench,
true.
but he's a little instant offense.
He comes in on a switch when you need him, when wins in his favor.
Well, it's a dump switch, right? So like
Yeah, it
he's
has
first
to
guy off
be.
the bench and
Yeah,
someone dumps.
has to be. Ah, man, that was great.
All right, well, everyone, it's been a fun blast. It's been a fun time. It's been a blast. Combine both of those. We're doing great.
You just did what I did earlier with the whole MJ and Kobe thing.
Yep.
That's
You know, the
exactly what you
problem
just
is
did
I'm
right
just thinking
there.
about after you figure out all the teams on Friday, it gets released. We're all going to meet at Flanagan's to figure out who our teams really are, sing some karaoke, have a good time, and properly get ready for the dome tourney.
I love that.
So everyone, we'll see you at Flanny's on Friday. And as we have never both said together, we're going to try and nail this week.
Are we? Okay, here we go.
Remember to
Go
go
get
get
it.
it.